Oh, good. We all good? Everybody good?
Set.
Okay, fire away, guys.
Angel, I guess just 40 runs this weekend. I mean, just obviously there are a lot of expectations around what this team can be offensively, but the ways in which you guys are able to put up runs, I mean, I guess just how much more, multifaceted do you think you guys are than you were even a season ago?
Yeah, I think a bunch of us have made huge strides in, mechanically and just the mental part of the game. And it's definitely helped us, from last year. We still got some young guys in there, like a bunch of sophomores like Johnny and Mac, and they've definitely matured a whole lot more. And I'll throw Frick in there too. Just more mature approaches. And then, that's going to take us a long way. And the fact that, a bunch of our runs, I can recall have come with 2 outs, can always get stuff going with that. And yeah, it's, obviously fun scoring a lot of runs, but we know that we can't do that every game. So that's, hopefully we'll just stick to it. I honestly don't know what to say right now. I'm just happy we won.
Hey, Angel, how does it feel to be 3-0? What are your biggest takeaways for these past 3 games in the season?
It feels good. Obviously we still have a lot of room to improve in a bunch of aspects of the game, but I feel like for the most part we played pretty solid defensively. Offensively, on Friday they jumped on us 2-0, then we punched them right back, and that's how it's got to be. But I guess, yeah, one of the main takeaways is just some of our guys that have just made huge strides to be the players that they are today. And another guy I'll throw in there is Patrick Alvarez. I mean, he's had some huge at bats and has come up in some huge times and has come through. So hopefully, all of us will just trust the process and keep rolling with it.
Angel, it feels like nitpicking considering you guys put up 40 runs and held them to 6, but what are some of those improvements you think need to be made quicker rather than not?
See, yeah, I guess I'm kind of saying it to say it just because, we weren't, knock on wood, our weaknesses have yet to be kind of exposed. But sooner or later, we're going to see not every game is going to be 19-0. When we're in those 1-run games, that's where, those tough plays had to be made. Those sacrifice bunts have to be put down. Obviously, we didn't have to do much sacrifice bunting or anything, but it's still one of the little things that can win or lose a ball game. And, always got to make plays behind the pitcher. In our pitching was unbelievable. A lot of strikes were thrown and, quick outs. I think it's huge when, we put up some runs and then we have a pitcher that can get 1, 2, 3, get the offense back in, and then just keep piling on. That's one huge thing that, or probably a huge takeaway that I have from this weekend also. But yeah, feels good.
Angela, one of the things that Coach Forbes talked about on Friday was how, last year's team, he personally felt like, he said the word that he used was front runners. That you guys were good when you were ahead, but you had trouble kind of fighting back. Obviously, you fall behind 2-0 on Friday. You and Danny go back to back. Today, you guys fall behind 1-0 and took it to that third inning to really kind of get some offensive momentum going. I mean, I know, again, it's only 3 games, but I mean, how promising is it to see that?
Yeah, this was something that I saw in the fall. And it's one of the things that I brought up to coach. They asked me, what do you think is different from this team and last year? In our fall World Series, this squad had to be split up between 2 teams, a bunch of good players. So 2 good teams, there would be one team would be up by 5 or 6. And next thing you know, it's a 1-run game. And I was like, this is going to be huge during the season because it can happen that quick. And I think it's good that a bunch of the guys who were in the start lineup and even the guys who were sitting the bench, they've made huge strides toward just having quality at bats, because we know like one person gets quality at bat, it's contagious. This guy's a good at bat, the next guy will, and then just not trying to do too much. And it's a long game, and I'm never out of it till the last pitch is thrown. And I think our guys realize that we can put up the runs and do a lot of damage. Just gotta, try to control what you can and then pass it on to the next guy.
Hey, Angel. You noticed how impressive the pitching's been this weekend. So, Shawn and Gage didn't give up any runs today. They each had 3 strikeouts. What are your thoughts on how they've performed so far?
Yeah, it was no surprise. That's what they did all fall. Shawn, he's just an uncomfortable guy to face as a lefty. That nasty slider he's got. And Gage, he's just pretty deceptive. He doesn't throw the hardest, but he's very deceptive with his delivery, and his arm speed just makes everything look like the same pitch. So those guys put in the hard work, and it's no surprise that they did what they did this weekend.
All good on my end.
You good, guys?
All good?
Yep, all good. Thanks, Angel.
Thanks, Angel.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we'll wait on Coach and/or Rapp and see who's ready first. Guys, Shawn is here. We will take questions for him.
Hey, Shawn, congrats on the win. How did it feel to get out there for the first time this season?
Oh, I mean, it felt awesome. This was just such a great weekend for everybody on the squad. Finally getting back out after, a little bit of a disappointing end to our season last year. We all really knew that we had a good squad coming back, and we really could make some big jumps this year. So just getting back on the field, getting going with a great series sweep is just awesome.
Shawn, you obviously bounced back and forth between the bullpen and the rotation last year and had your moments there as a starter. Obviously, I mean, the coaching staff has really talked about how much of a weapon they think you can be, out of that bullpen. I guess just kind of how do you kind of see your role, and just, how comfortable are you in that kind of as you're going to a second year of this?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, it's just kind of wherever the coaches need me. Obviously last year with a couple of injuries to the pitching staff, the starting rotation, obviously I had to, pick up some of that slack here and there, do some starts, do some different things. And I like that. I like being able to do different things, kind of being a little bit of like a Swiss Army knife type of thing. But, just wherever they see me, wherever they think I can help us most, I'm happy to do it. And, this weekend, especially with 3 pretty good starts, it's obviously out of the bullpen, and, I'm just trying to thrive in whatever role they put me in.
Shawn, 2 newcomers on the mound this weekend that were on the team last year. What'd you see out of Schaefer and PB House? And kind of how do you think they performed this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see those guys, in live action. Obviously, we've only really seen them throw against our own team. I actually had the benefit of I played summer ball with PB House this summer, so I actually got to see him throw there and knew him coming in, so that was awesome. But yeah, I mean, they just got after it. Schaefer had a little bit of nerves a little bit in the first inning, but I mean, him being able to get through that and really, settling down early and, giving us a good start was huge for us. Going 6 innings on Friday is big. I mean, it's hard as a relief staff and as a pitching staff. If, your Friday guy can only get through 1 or 2. So the fact that he was able to bounce back was incredible. And then PB House just, being a veteran presence that he is, you just kind of knew he was going to give us, a good start at least. And, really keep us in the game. So it was great seeing them. And then obviously Carlson too, coming back after surgery. I mean, that's huge too. So, great job by all 3 of them this weekend, really put us in a good spot to win all these games.
What does it mean for you and for the team to be 3-0? And what are your biggest takeaways for this opening series?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's so awesome sweeping anybody, whether that's ACC play or out of conference play. Sweeps are hard to come by. So, just really happy about, what we did this weekend, and going to try and help, let this weekend help us build going forward. But I mean, we're happy, obviously we know that, conference play is coming up in a couple of weeks, and that's, we got to be really ready for that because the ACC is such a great conference, but, sweeps are hard, and we're very happy about this one.
Shawn, obviously, I think you're the only guy out of the bullpen who ended up having multiple appearances this weekend. And obviously, I mean, a guy such as Will Sandy doesn't even come out. I mean, just how deep do you just personally feel like you guys are back there, and how much of a strength do you feel like you guys can be for this team?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think we have a lot of different arms, a lot of different options that we can go to. And I really think that helps each of us. At points last year, it kind of felt like, some guys were getting stretched out when, they were lagging, their arms were hanging, and, they kind of had to go that extra inning, and maybe something didn't go right, or they didn't have as much success as, they were capable of. But, coming in this year, like, I think we have so many good arms and so much talent that, if you're not having a good day, and you could see it after a hit or two, you come out, somebody else comes in, helps you out. I mean, I think it's going to help all of us be, more fresh, and have more success all the time. So I think it's just awesome.
Anything else for Sean, guys?
Oh, good.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sean.
Sean.
Coach will be there.
Do we need anything else? We're good?
Oh, we're good. Thank you, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I heard there was a brawl today, huh? Michigan, Wisconsin.
Big time brawl, Scott.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. How we doing, man? Sweeps are hard to come by. I told our guys that yesterday. I would have bet anything that today would have been a closer game. I thought for the most part we played pretty clean. Unlike Angel to miss 2 balls in the same weekend. It is a new position for him, but I have a lot of confidence in him, so I think he'll make those plays. They're both tough plays at the line with Wynn. But I don't like giving extra outs. Good to see Shad make his first start. We kind of capped most of these guys between 65 and 75 is what we were thinking for that first outing. We'll start stretching them out a little bit more. But I thought him getting out of that second inning with the bases loaded and 1 out was big for us and for him. Because at the end of the day, I know he's got a lot of experience, but it's still first time he's pitched in a UNC uniform. Thought we had some good at bats throughout the lineup, and our bullpen was outstanding. Only 3 walks and a lot of strikeouts. So all in all, a good weekend to start.
Coach, obviously you guys end up putting up 40 runs across all 3 games. And it was a number of ways in which you guys came across it, especially today where you have Reese's bunt really kind of setting the table for a big inning there, and then Vance having 2 stolen bases. I guess how multidimensional do you feel like this team can be offensively to where you don't have to rely on, just the long ball and things like that?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that. 2 things that you have to be able to do to win championships. 3 things. You have to pitch. And you have to play defense. Those are 2 most important. But then you have to be able to manufacture a run because you're going to face a guy that he's just that good. And you might have a ton of home runs. I actually talked to the team a little bit about the Braves and how the switch hitter for them, he was the one guy that if he got on base, it's a good chance he was going to score from first or second. And we've got multiple guys. You look at Angel, Horvath, Honeycutt, and Holbrook. If they're all in the lineup, they can turn a single into a double. They can steal third base. But they're not one-dimensional. It's one thing to have speed, and that's it, and just to be a bunter. Like Reese hitting the triple, Vance hitting some home runs, Angel can hit doubles. And obviously Mac is Mac. I'm sitting here looking at he's hitting 167. I don't feel like that. I feel like he had a better weekend than that. But that's what we've worked on, being able to do that. I should have, honestly, I think I could have generated 1 more if I'd have put a safety on with Reese that 1 inning, because we talk about adding on. So I felt like we should have got to that number 8 and get off that 4. But our guys have worked hard on that, moving the ball with 2 strikes, putting pressure on the defense, and trying not to give the other team. We're big on, doing stuff with 2 outs. You got to be good at that. 2 out RBIs, they get 1-2, that third guy gets on base. So we did that pretty well this weekend.
Hey, Coach, what would you say are your biggest takeaways for this opening series of the weekend? And what are you hoping to see improved for Elon on Tuesday?
The biggest takeaways is, I like the toughness of our team. I can tell that they're in the togetherness. They're all pulling in the same direction. And that's been pretty clear since the fall. You want to cut back on our strikeouts a little bit. I know we scored a lot of runs, so, but coaching is what it is. You're going to, if you're a perfectionist, you want to do better. And we can always get better at that, cutting back on those strikeouts. I thought we went out of the zone too in some 3-2 counts, that if we can lay off those pitches, we get an extra walk and probably an extra run here or there. And the last thing is just, eliminating those extra outs. Angel's got to catch those balls. The ball that they got the first run off the end of the bat, Patty led up on it a little bit, looked at Danny coming across the field. So just continue to improve defensively and situational hitting.
Scott, was it part of the plan to put Reese in the starting lineup today? Or just kind of mixing it up, or just what went into that after his performance yesterday?
Yeah, all those guys, there's a group that really made it hard on us to make out the lineup, even opening day. Casey Cook, Joe Jakonski, and Reese all had good preseasons. They brought different things. But I just had this feeling that, okay, Patty's really hard to pitch to, and Reese had shown that. That's one thing he had shown them in preseason. He didn't have a ton of hits, but he was on base. He was looking at the ball, really hard to strike out. And he could also hit a double, and he can hit a home run. And he can hit a fastball, but the speed is a game changer. And after laying the bunt down, I thought, okay, today we might need that element. It's just, baseball, guys. I mean, you beat somebody 19-0 the next day, most of the time it's 3-1. That's just the way it usually is. So we talked about it as a staff, and, we bounced things off, but we all four of us agreed that we thought the best guy was Reese today, and he made the most of it.
Coach Gaines has talked about just, how when you look back at some of the most successful teams that you guys have had, having that big lefty back there in the bullpen has been such a key part of it. And obviously Shawn this weekend coming in 3 1/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, just how much of a weapon do you feel like he can be for you guys back there, especially as a guy who has that starter experience as well?
Yeah, I think Shawn's, he's good. Any lefty that can come in that's got upper 80s and can touch 90, but has that breaking ball. He's a 3-pitch guy too. He started some big games for us last year and gave us, what he did at Texas Tech was impressive against a really good lineup. So he equalizes righties as well. And that's a weapon. And, you add Caden in there with the experience he has, they're just totally different lefties, 3/4 with a good breaker and an over the top, deceptive lefty in Caden with a really good changeup. So we feel really good about those two options. And, Sandy didn't even get in. Obviously Sandy's gonna start some, but he's one of our better guys, and he'll get some time this year. And we're also excited. We have a freshman that's coming off an injury that should be back, middle to late March, Dalton Pent. So we have a little more left-handed bullpen depth than we've had in a while, and that's exciting.
What are your thoughts about how Gage played there down the stretch towards the end of the game?
Gage just, he's a stud. Here's a kid that came to UNC for an opportunity, like a locker, had a ton of offers, some smaller schools. And, we just say, Gage, will give you an opportunity in the fall, and you're going to have to make the team. And, I should be the one writing him a check when he leaves here. He's tough. Doesn't matter what his velocity is. Some days it'll be high, some days it won't be, but he's, you just go back and look what he did last year. He was our MVP. His numbers were, he pitched in big games all the time, and he had unbelievable numbers. And there's a guy that I like that give the ball to when the game's on the line. It's Gage Gillian.
Scott, I know you mentioned you were keeping the starters to 65 to 70 range, but is this the rotation that you expect to carry on moving forward?
Yeah. The rotation can change. I think Schaefer and Carlson will stay Friday and Saturday. PB House is a swing. He can do both, and he's a power arm. He's up to 95 today. So, you just don't know. Right now, yes, he's earned another start, but Bovair, pushed him hard. He looked really good in his inning yesterday. He was 92, 94. And you got Sandy in there. I think it's just a matter of our bullpen continues to throw well, and we can keep PB in that starter's role. We'll probably keep throwing him on Sunday. But again, sometimes it's not bad to have another electric arm out of the bullpen. 2011, we went to Omaha. We didn't win the national championship, but we went with 2 starting pitchers, and we just kind of TBA'd it on Sunday. And I don't even think we would have to do that. But I would say right now, yes, it'll be the same rotation next week.
You point out yourself how Will Sandy didn't throw this weekend. Are you looking at him for Tuesday, or are you guys still kind of determining that right now?
Yeah,
we're determined. It'd probably be him or Bovair. One of those two. Both of them have pitched well. Different type pitchers, but they both need to pitch. So it could be a piggyback outing in a perfect world where if we play well, baseball is not a perfect world. It'd be nice one of them to go 5 and the other one to go 4. Just let our relievers take a day, but that's not the way baseball usually works. We'll announce that tomorrow, who we're going to start.
Anything else, guys?
All good on my end.
Yep, that's all for me.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey, have a good day.
Thanks, Coach. You too.
Thanks, Coach.
I'll let you know the rotation tomorrow morning.
Thanks, guys.
Call me or